What's going on, guys? Chaos311 here, and I was going to try to not work on long games or show videos with longer games just because it's hard for me to get through them these days, but this game is so much fun and so awesome that I decided to record some of it, as much of it as I can. So this is Divinity Original Sin, which is an RPG that came out recently. It was on early access, and it's old school RPG, which is what I love about it. It's turn-based, with a kind of isometric type of view to the world. Turn-based combat, but a lot of exploration, and it does not treat you like a moron because it does not hold your hand at all, which is one of my favorite things about it. You actually have to find your quests. They don't really tell you much about them. They give you the clues, but you know, it's one of those. It's old school. Kind of reminds me of Baldur's Gate in a way, Baldur's Gate 2. So here's our character creation. You can play the game co-op, so you can play with two people, but when you play single player you actually create two characters and you can get others as you play. So I played the game a bit today with Tracy, who is someone who plays, I met playing the golf club the other day, and her boyfriend bought the game, and then we played a little co-op, Tracy and I today, just messing around. So I got a little far and I realized a few things that I didn't know when I first started playing the game about different guys you get. Early in the game, Zelda, sorry my dog barking. Early in the game you get two companions. One is a two-handed warrior type of character, another is a healer type of character. So knowing that, at least for those two early ones, I'm going to make characters not of that type. So I'm going to make a rogue and see what he can do. So you can come in here, there's a lot of, actually let me just show, you got a rogue, there's a lot, Shadowblade, Wayfarer, Witch, Wizard, Battle Mage, Cleric, Enchanter, Fighter, Knight, Ranger, and then here's the rogue again. Now the thing about these, you can come in here, customize, and you can actually customize everything. So these are kind of templates, like here's all the talents in the game. He gets Backstabber, this rogue. He could backstab with daggers and knives, and Gorilla doubles attack while sneaking, which is obviously perfect for rogues. He also gets one-handed weapons, get more attack, Scoundrel, which helps with his rogue-ish abilities, and he gets lockpicking, pickpocketing, and sneaking. So with all that stuff, you can, if you want, you can come in here and edit all this. I'm just going to keep the default though of what he has because it looks pretty good to me. I'm sure there's better, you know, it could be better ones,
Perhaps
but
like a whetstone wheel.
so
What do I have?
I'm gonna give him a nice roguish beard and this funky hair, I think. And you can actually pick their underwear, which is kind of hilarious, and the fact that they have under. This game you'll find has quite a bit of humor in it, which is also pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, just something I enjoy about it is it does have some humor on top of everything else that it has, which is a lot. And as usual, I'm going to make a female on this side and name it Red Dog, which is my wife's nickname, and I'm going to make her a wizard. Spells are pretty powerful in this game, from what I've seen. And the other thing is that I know you get a healer who gets some pretty impressive healing type spells early on. Is the other character you get early on besides the warrior type character. So to complement that, I'm going to go with more of an attack based mage, I think, here. I'll give her the good underwear too. So she has intelligence, basically constitution, speed, perception, which allows you to find some crits and find traps and things like that. Willpower's good defense against like magical type of abilities that can hurt you. Pyrokinetic is the fire type stuff. Geomancer is earth, so she's fire earth. Lore Master allows her to identify things and stuff like that. Charisma is good for talking and stuff. So Know-It-All decreases everyone's attitude towards you by 20, but gives you 1 extra point in intelligence. That's kind of interesting. Then Far Out Man increases the range of spells by 2 meters. She gets a poison dart, a flare, and a midnight oil spell. Is that exactly what I thought before? Something else with the wizard. Now that I'm looking at this. Was it flare that she got before? Or was it burning touch? I guess it's flare. Midnight Oil, you can set like an oil surface, and that's part of her geomancer stuff. And then with Flare, you can light it on fire, which is pretty cool. So we'll just go with that. I don't know if I like the know-it-all because I want her to be my charisma type person. But know-it-all, we get an extra point in intelligence, which is obviously awesome because that governs our stuff, but that makes people not like you as much. I'll just keep it with what it is. That's fine. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, so wizard and a rogue, and then we're gonna have, like I said, those other characters will join us soon.
In the days of old, the sorcerers of Rivellon cured the sick and healed the wounded through a great power called Source. But a terrible darkness invaded the land, and Source was forever tainted. The sorcerers who once healed now only destroy, and madness has overtaken them. A few brave Source hunters are all that stand between Rivellon and the dark power that threatens to destroy it. Wherever Source appears, hunters follow.
Rise and shine, Master Source Hunters. The captain wants you up on deck. Here in gold means we're close to shore. I don't envy you going there, Master Source Hunters. City's full of undead, hungry and out for blood. But you're supposed to investigate that murder, ain't you? They say it's Source that did the counselor in. Source in a city like Cyseal. Nowhere safe anymore. Here they are, Captain Sir.
God's blessings on you, hunters. You'll be happy to hear we've reached Cyseal. But there's trouble offshore, so we'll have to sail in carefully. Here, have a look. Those are orc ships, and they're blocking our passage. We'll get you as close to the city as we can, and drop you off at the beach. Be wary now. Orcs are on the attack. Undead have closed every route out, and there's a sorcerer on the loose. If we're to get justice for the counselor, you'll have to keep your wits about you. May the luck of the gods be with you both, Source Hunters.
Alright, here we are. So if anybody's ever read the Wheel of Time series or knows anything about the Wheel of Time series by Robert Jordan, the background of this sounds very familiar, and I'm trying to remember what it is. It's like Sidon or something. It's not Source, but it's a similar sound to this, where in that novel, that book series, there was a thing that they would touch to do their spells or magic, and they got tainted for males and they became crazy, and that's what it kind of sounded like in the beginning, how the Source in this game was tainted and drove people crazy. So that seems like they heavily borrowed from that.
Ships raiding to the west. I'd mistake this for a placid beach.
At least the orcs make a bit of noise when they attack. It's dark-dealing sorcerers that'll strike with neither warning nor mercy.
So I'm picking up shells. So you see the game is, you click, I guess you could hold the move, which was what Tracy was doing, which seems a little crazy. I know, I like to click. This game reminds me of like the Baldur's Gate games, in a way, so I play it like that.
Is that a corpse? What's it doing here alone?
What? Did you expect it to have an entourage?
A Traveler's Journal. So we have two characters, we can switch between them, and now we can have him be in the lead, her in the lead. I'll probably have her in the lead because I think, from what I think, is that because she has the ability, she has the charisma, which helps with the dialogue, some dialogue stuff, that hopefully she'll talk first. and stuff like that. You see this chain here connects them. If you want, you can actually pull this chain away, and now that there's no chain there, I can actually move her and he stays where he's at, or I can move them two separately. Then I can just basically take this and kind of reattach the chain like that, and now they work together again. So that's kind of cool. A lot of little things in this game, it really lets you learn stuff on your own. It really does not give you much advice. So we got Flare, Midnight Oil, Poison Dart for her, the Staff spell, which allows a magic missile if you have a staff. And then these are scrolls, which are one-time uses. Here's our inventory, which can be sorted by different things, and then on the side you can sort by specific type of categories, which helps. So we have this Traveler's Journal. Journal update. Rejoice for the statues that have granted my wish. Their whimsical nature, however, must not be taken lightly, so before I soar through the sky like an eagle, I shall attempt a mere hop from the cliffs down at the beach. This should be a small feat for the man that can fly. So apparently he thought he could fly, and he can't. Click on characters that have exclamation marks above their heads. It will initiate dialogue. So we can click on him. Cooperative dialogue. You can roleplay discussions between two characters. Can you believe this? The man jumped off a cliff at the behest of some statues, of all things, he says. So we can answer with her. Great deeds require a leap of faith. True enough, history is made by those willing to risk it all. So say they agree. Romantics. So from what there's just a lot in this game. I don't even know really how it all works. But we have traits here, so they're more of a romantic. Lucky Charm is increased by 1 if you have a romantic trait. Pragmatic, crafting is increased by 1. You don't have this because it scores less than or equal to romantic. So we actually have the romantic trait right now because of the dialogue option we chose. Which, and it says our Lucky Charm increased by 1. Which is... Where's Lucky Charm? It's here. We didn't even have Lucky Charm when we started, so now we have it. And that determines our luck in finding extra treasure and improves our offense. So they both should have that because of the way we did our dialogue. Yeah, he had no personality stuff when we started. So it's kind of cool. And there's a lot of stuff that comes up in that section. Most of it I don't understand. How you get it, how it works yet. So this is going to be a lot of... I'm going to try to play this game as much as I can. But this is no way, shape, or form a walkthrough of knowledge because I'm pretty new at this as well. It's more of a playthrough. Hopefully it's got people playing it because I think these people deserve you to buy this game. They put a shit ton of work. It's gorgeous looking and it is pretty fantastic, especially for old school role-playing RPG fans.
Curses upon them, source hunters! Secure the stone! I'll deal with these rats.
Goddess be with you, master.
So here's the, we can't do anything here. It's a little scene.
Rise, arise, drawn forth from blood. I bid you aid.
Alright, so it is a turn-based combat. Use action points. Different actions, different costs. Turn ends when you have none left. So you can see on the top of the screen here is our turn order based on speed. So we should be able to look at our guys. You can see that he has a 7 speed where she has a... Oh, I can't actually click anything right now. Well, he has a higher speed. So he's going to go first most of the time, Scowls. Red Dog will go, and then you can see the order of the enemies. You can also hold control down and find things about enemies. They're all question marks right now, so I'm assuming as you fight you'll unlock that stuff. Something like that. Even if you the chance to hit doesn't really show up there. So, blah blah blah. So our guy, I have never played with the rogue. So he's fast track, which means we can be hasted for a while, which gives us more points, which is nice. Cost, and then these bars are here. Right now, at this moment, we have 8 action points that we can use. Every action takes a point. If we wanted to run here, it would take 5 action points, as you see, which would leave us 3 left to do something, which would actually, you know, we can just walk in shadow if we wanted. So what we're going to try to do, because I haven't tried it yet, we're going to go invisible. Okay. And to actually use our Razor's Edge, we have to be within 2.4 meters, which means we have to basically be right next to somebody. And that takes 4 points. So let's move him like over here. Let's see how this works. I don't really know how it works. And get him out of the way for now. Maybe he could sneak in the back next time. So now he's pretty much out of stuff. It automatically went to her. You can also end your turn early to save action points. So let's try Midnight Oil, which should create a oil surface. I haven't played with the wizard yet either, so this is new to me. And we don't have enough points to actually use flare, so that kind of blows. Really? I'm out of points? Like, how much does flare cost? 6 action points! Holy lord. Okay, well now I... So we can use just our staff spell, which does 9 damage. So now we have 1 action point left. We could move, or we could just wait, and this action point will actually add on to our next turn. See, we preserve 1, so we should have a little bit more next time. They are slowed because of that, what I put down there, which is awesome. So they're actually, we get to go again. So we could technically try to Razor's Edge this guy. We have to get closer though. How far is it? 2.4 meter range. So we need to go up about 1.2 meters to get closer to him. So that should be close enough. So we stunned him with that. Can we attack? We can. It only takes 2 points to attack. So he's absorbing because of his defense there. So now that these guys are oiled up, we should be able to flare this thing and start some fires. Like that. Nice! That is pretty awesome.
The leader said something about escaping with a stone.
Stolen from this dungeon, I imagine. Can we get inside?
So this dungeon is basically a tutorial dungeon, which I'm going to skip. Basically teaches you everything about the game. But in like all the little things in the game, but in the you know, to make it go a little faster, I'm just gonna skip it. If you've never played at all, like I said, I haven't played much. Played a bit, but you know, if you've never played at all, I would go in. I went in there the first time. I tried the game out. So here's our waypoints. You get exploration XP too for finding things. Once you find a couple waypoints, you can then quick travel between them. So that's the first waypoint. A log, which is an ingredient. Anything that has a yellow that you mouse over with the chest looking, you can loot. Anything that's gray has already been looted, which is cool because it helps you know that you've already looted that and you get kind of confused at where you've been. And anything red would be considered stealing. If anybody sees you, take it. So there's that too. And there's a lot of stuff that doesn't have anything in it, and none of this stuff has anything. So now we took that shovel because you can dig up things. Here's a spot we can dig, and our boy here is going to dig. And be careful because there are some things you can dig that can hurt you. So we got a knockdown arrow, which isn't very useful for us particularly, since none of our guys have a bow use. What's down here? I don't know if there's anything that I missed. One thing I wish they did is you hold on the Alt key to highlight objects that you can pick up or loot on the ground or wherever. You have to keep it held down manually. I wish there was a way just to turn it on all the time. Like this book highlights here, but if I let go, you don't see it. Okay, you can barter with almost all characters. Use the diamond to start bartering. So each character has this little trade button. So this guy has a minor healing potion. Costs 309 though to get it, which is a crap ton. So you can either use your actual gold, or if you wanted to, you can try to match things like these shells are 1 each. So that would be 5 toward it, stuff like that. I'm not going to buy it now. How do I cancel out of here? Just hit X. Well, right there, orc scum. And they're not orcs, not a single horn in sight. Just hold your tongue, will you, Bibius? Can't be too careful, we are sworn to protect Cyseal. So basically, these guys are drunk. They're legionnaires. Liberators of liquor, too. Let's see. So basically, I'm going to skip through this a little bit here. They basically don't want us to go through here. You can be nice to them. Ask him a few questions. Counselor Jake is murdered. The main reason we're here is because Counselor Jake has been murdered. So he was found facing a pile of blood. His wife did it in a bed of bottled brandy that they're right. So people think his wife killed him. There's orc trouble basically in the area as well. And okay, we say we want to leave, not too quickly. They think we're spies. So we could be nice to them or not. We're gonna be nice. Say they want us to take us to the wizard, so we'll agree with that. And we got obedient as a thing, and 900 XP.
Farewell.
So now they're nice to us. So let's pick up this crafting book before we bail. And now that we have it, we can read it and we can learn a recipe. But they don't really tell you the recipes. Crafting and cooking with Maradino. A bachelor's guide to crafting. A good arrow starts with its shaft. Well, actually, they do tell you some recipes here. And this one. Sicilian pie. Flour and water for bread. You can turn a cheese bread with cheese or fish. So it does tell you some things in here about what you can do here. Grab, if you're not the stamina type, glue 2 branches together and you get a staff. If you good arrow is a shaft, any tree branch, all it takes is a knife, then create your own arrowheads. So it does tell you stuff on here. And if you hit M, you can go to the map, and I'm sure there's another way to get the recipes, but you can click on here and you can read here what you've learned. So pretty cool. Now I actually don't know how to craft in the game, but what I learned, and do I have crafting with any of my characters? Can't remember. Craftsmanship. I have lore master. We might have to put a point in crafting. So what does obedient give us? It gives us willpower bonus whenever a character with leadership is in sight. If we were independent, we would have gotten just a willpower bonus straight up. So now we get one if there's a leader in sight. Leadership should be a trait based off of something, I believe. Yes, personality, which gives a boost to party members and friends, which we don't have. Alright, let's move on. So I apologize, kind of takes slow going here, but I am learning a bit as I go. Like, I've never played either of these 2 types of characters, so I'm not won't know exactly how they work. So here is a old wooden earth staff, which is not quite as good as the one we have. But we can sell it, or we can maybe craft with it. So crafting, from what I understand, actually I was getting to that. I didn't even know how you do it, but apparently you just put things on top of things. I don't know if we have anything that we can do that with. Combine an arrow with another object to create a special arrowhead. So it can be like... No. No. I gotta work in the crafting aspect of the game, because I'm not quite sure how. I think you just put things on top of other things that work. But since we don't have a point in crafting, it might not work for us anyway.
What the hell is happening down here? Orcs! Bloody orcs! Come, let's go back to the bridge. Let the source hunters handle them big brutes.
Alright, so those guys who are all tough on the bridge have bailed on us. There's a hammer and a tomato and a branch, one-handed weapon. There's a bow, a short sword, and a log. Nice. Alright, so there's going to be a pretty big fight here. Alright. So I actually just did this fight a second ago and I died. Like I was saying, this game is not the easiest game in the world. But for one reason, where the fight happened, they came up here. You usually get these Legionnaires into the fight, which are in here now, that help you out. It's a tough fight to start the game with. I think having these Legionnaires here is kind of what you need. So now I ran down here more, where the Legionnaires came in, which should be useful for us. So I'm going to fast track this guy for a couple turns. He gets more action points. You see he has 8. He'll end up with 4 more. He starts with 4 more AP, which I think every turn, maybe, or something like that. He recovers more. So I'll give him a little bit more, and then we'll you know, run him down here, I guess. And I'm gonna oil these guys up real nice, like. There we go. Which should slow them down. And hopefully I can burn that oil up a little bit next time if they're still close enough to it. So now these Legionnaires are fighting. That did not happen before this fight I did where I died. Pretty embarrassing actually. I died in the first big fight. So this icon means this guy's flanked, which means he has minus 20 defense right now. Because these guys are surrounding him, so they'll take him down real fast. These Legionnaires get a lot of attacks. So that orc's already gone. So yeah, they'll come help us fight, which is pretty important right here. Because like I said, this is not the easiest fight in the world. Okay, so we're going to go invisible, walk in shadows. So we have 8, 9, 10, 11. We got more. I don't know exactly how this works. But we got 3 AP. That's what it is. Recovery. More, normally. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to try to get around this guy so I can backstab him. Well, actually, I'm going to go here. I'm going to try to light that oil on fire. I don't want him to be in it. There is, oh, we didn't get him. Shite. Let's see if we can stun him. We stunned him. There's definitely friendly fire in this game. There's no doubt about that. So can we get this oil? From here. Yeah. Yeah, we're burning him. I didn't kill him. I could kill the skeletons though, but it still did some decent work. I want to take that shaman out. I can't reach him. At least they're burning, which should be a little damage over time. And he just hit the dude in half or so. So we're going to try to get around the back of this shaman. Should put us about right here. I don't know if we have to be invisible to backstab him, but we're going to try to do it without being invisible. Yeah, we got him. Now the rogue can attack so often, because he has daggers. He's pretty awesome, actually. Because if you see the dagger, it takes 2 action points to attack with it. Well, fighting knife is what he has now. Which is practically nothing. That's why he could attack so many times a turn. The wizard, if she wanted to attack with her staff, like as a melee weapon, it costs 3 action points. You can see that they have, you know, dagger weapons have that ability to be quickly, be dangerous. A lot of attacks. We didn't get to poison that guy, which sucks. This fight's going much better. Not only are these Legionnaires doing damage and killing people, actually, you know, causing them to attack, you know, to be basically tank for us, which is. I'm gonna try to get behind this guy. They're both flanked now, minus 10 defense. Backstab, backstab, and that's all I can do. So I'm not flanked. I'm gonna back off. Ah, he got attack of opportunity on me. If you're within a guy's melee range and you try to move out of it, you can't get hit like that, which is there's been a lot of role-playing games. We just burned that dude to ash, and we gained a level. Sweet. Oh, you don't want to hit me. You don't want to hit him. There you go, Legionnaires. His defense is down because he's flanked. Nice. And we get the XP when they help us kill things.
Orcs had a human commander. How very curious and disquieting.
Before his time. Far before his time.
Alright, so now let's loot. Smokescreen arrow, plate armor, minor healing potion, old mail armor, poison resistance potion. Sweet loot. And these guys that are dead we can't loot, but there are bodies that are laying around here from before that we can loot. So this guy has a tooth, which is an ingredient. I guess I need to learn how to craft. I'll probably look it up for the next video to get more about it. I would assume, and I don't know this, but I would assume that I would have to put at least 1 point in crafted to even craft anything. Like I said, I do believe that you just kind of put things on top of each other to craft. So you have an orc horn and a tooth. We probably do need to buy some stuff. It did say we needed like a hammer for something, so. Alright, so there's all that. So we're going to chill here for now. This is the ship that came in on. Pretty cool. This is the main town. Actually, let's get some XP real quick. Let's go down here. There is this thing that I know about. Remember, we picked up a rain scroll earlier in the game. We throw that on our hotkeys. There's a Stardust herb over here used for crafting. Let's loot some arrows and armor. So because this is on fire, we could use this rain scroll. It's a one-time spell to make it rain in this area, which will put the fire out and should give us some XP. Which is awesome. There we go. We got 900 XP for that. Our reputation went up as well. And our journal updated. And it's unfilled in the fire. We saved the ship. We also have a journal entry for the mysterious murder is why we're here, to find out about the Counselor Jake murder. Talking stones from that guy that we found. And the Source Hunter's journey about the orcs and a man leading them to the fight. We have that too. So with that being said, we're going to stop, like I said, over here. Get some more XP. Next video we'll level up and then we'll head into town. And there's a lot to do in this town. I know that for sure. So thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.